So much disrespect for his father, he said, I can do this on my own. I can make it on my own. I can make everything happen for myself. I don't need my dad. I don't need my house. I don't need anything that he has to give me. All I need is the money that I have, and that's it. That's all I need. Everything I want to do. And so he's sitting there, homeless, poor, eating pig slop. He's sitting on the side of the street, probably begging for food because that's the only thing he needs. So finally he got so hungry that he started eating the food and he realized, yes, Carson. It's not 8:15 yet. He was so poor, and he finally realized, he said, you know what? He said, I could go to my dad's house, and the people that clean the toilets have extra food, have more than they could ever have. He said, I'm going to try to go back to my dad. I'm going to get up and try my hardest to go back to where I came from and say, Dad, look, I know you've given me all your money, and I'm your son, but I will clean your toilet if you'll just give me food. I'll feed your pigs because you actually feed the people that feed my pigs food. So he realized that without his shelter, without his home, he had nothing. The whole reason we have a house, the whole reason we have a home is because it keeps shelter over us. It's protection. And he thought he could make it without this protection. He thought he could go out into the world and truly make it without any kind of protection, any kind of cover, anything whatsoever. And he probably became homeless, and he became homeless like this because he thought he could do it all. He left what he knew and what was working for him because he thought he could handle it. Some of you in here tonight, think you can handle it. Some of you here tonight think you don't need to listen to Jeff. You don't need to listen to your parents. You don't need to listen to anybody. You don't need anything. You can do it on your own. You can find God on your own. You can learn about God. You can live your life, go to heaven on your own without even trying. You think you can do it? I can tell in your faces, I'm watching half of you here right now. You're not even here. You're no better than that son who walked away from his dad and is sitting out on the side of the street, homeless, begging for food. Guys, it's 7:15, 8:15, if it's 8:15, you know where you need to go. Some of you are so sure of yourself that you've got it handled. You can do it by yourself. My question is, how could a guy who has over $1 million not handle it? And you think you can? You're homeless. You're out there by yourself, begging for stuff, trying to be the coolest person in the room, trying to do anything you can for people to see who you are. Because you're homeless. You've given up on God. You come here on Wednesday nights, you've given up. You're homeless. So that son realized that he was so homeless that he got so far down, he realized he had to go back. He said, I'll even go back and ask for forgiveness and be the lowest form of it, just so I could have something. Because I know that I'm so homeless, that I'm so much thinking I can do it myself, that I'm lost. So he picks himself up in probably the raggediest clothes he has on, because he's probably, living out with pigs and living in the dirt, or even living on the side of the street, has some raggedy clothes. Probably don't have all the Hollister shirt and stuff he has, somebody's probably stolen from him, taken, probably use it to buy some food, a little bit of bread. So he goes running to his dad's house. And we always talk about how the story ends, that the dad's standing out there and he sees his son and he's looking for him, and he calls him back. And he goes running back to his father and he gives him a great big hug. The dad gives the son a hug. Son, you're home. He said, Dad, he said, I've lost everything. I'm homeless. I've been eating pig slop. And I'm a beggar. Is there any way possible I can come in your house and clean your toilet every single day just for a scrap of bread? And we always know the coolest part of the story, which is something that Jesus relates to, that every time one of the lost actually come home, God celebrates. It's a celebration. Yes, Mary Beth? No. It's just a metaphor. Be helped. So don't just leave the story where he hugs the dad and that's it. Go back and look at Isaiah. Go back and look at that scripture. Read that scripture. I encourage every one of you. Look up Isaiah 58. Read the bottom half of that scripture. I'm reading now the Message. You go Bible Gateway, type in Isaiah 58. All you have to do online in a second. Best resource you ever had.
It's time to talk about what we learned today.